The Ramble Football Club is proudly sponsored by Glasby Pallets, offering a one-stop solution for all of your pallet needs. Get in touch now on 01709 585 646 to discuss your pallet requirements. And thank you again to Sonny and the team for their continued support of Ramble FC. Good evening, one and all, and welcome back to Ramble FC. Thank you for joining us. It's very much appreciated. And this is football therapy. You've got myself tonight, and I'll be joined by one of the three lads that is the rotating chair with this. I'm also on one of those rotating chairs. It could be any of the four of us, but tonight it's me and another. I really enjoy these. I enjoyed the England debate last week. Thank you to the Man Mountain and Jord Motson, which probably gives away who's going to be coming on with me tonight. Yeah, I enjoyed that. We had the first one where we started off and we talked about club legends. Tonight, we're going to be talking about heroes of the EFL. Now, this is it's a little bit like the club legends one where it's difficult not to get sucked in and go for just the best players, because that's not what we're after. We're not after the best players to ever play in the EFL. We're after, I think the kids call it, the streets will never forget players. So you'll all have names buzzing around your head. And for me, I found this really difficult. It's not that we can't think of names. It's that trying to get them all into an 11, which is what we're going to try and build tonight, is not easy. So originally what we're going to do, we're going to bring, like we've done before on the Blades Ramble and on Ramble FC, is where we go up against each other and we sort of pick our own teams, and then the audience will pick who wins. Well, we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to, because it was quite a tricky one, we've pulled it all together, and all four of us have got together and come to this team. I think it ended up being three of us because Man Mountain took his bat and ball home after we didn't have Dean Henderson in net. You know, one of them things. Anyway, so to talk me through it tonight is our mate. Now, Lee Edridge is going to be joining me tonight as my co-host, and Lee has been an ever-increasing presence on the channel. I always think he talks a lot of sense, and I'm having to big him up now, because when he sees this intro, he might not want to speak to me again. But I love the fact that he's getting more and more involved. He's a Platinum Rambler, which he's shown support for a long time, which a lot of people do. And we always try and encourage people to get more involved. But I think Lee's been a brilliant addition to the channel. And I'm really pleased he's come on board to do some more of a presence. I think he's brilliant. And if you look at if you look at him aesthetically, I mean, what do you think of when you see Lee? I mean, he's got a nice beard. He's bald. He's bald and he's brilliant. Bald and brilliant.
Bald and brilliant, that's our Lee. Knows the pitch like the back of his knee. No need for hair, he's got strategy. Football genius, yeah.
Oh, mate, welcome. Shall I just give you a minute to compose yourself? Shall I just give you a minute?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Bald and brilliant, that's our Lee. Knows the pitch like the back of his knee. No need for hair, he's got strategy. Football genius, yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, mate?
It's not as bad as I thought it would be, to be fair. But, well.
It's a great tune, that, as well. I love it. I think it's the best we've come up with, to be honest. So it rivals View from the Mountain in my eyes.
It could have been worse, Jim. It could have been worse.
It could have been an awful lot worse. So, Baldley, welcome back to Ramble FC. So I've talked a little bit about what we're doing tonight. Sorry, I've been waiting to do that for a week. So we've been talking about what we're going to be doing in terms of building. It's been tricky, this, hasn't it? We went back and forth a little bit. There's some big names that miss out. There's some legends that miss out. I think it's probably fair to say. I think the trickiest bit for us, and correct me if you think I'm wrong on this, but I were trying to skew it away from Sheffield United players. It's been because obviously we're a neutral channel, if you like. We try not to lean too much into Sheffield United. There's always going to be a natural bias there. But at one point, we had 4 blades in this team, and I just didn't think it could fly like that, I'm afraid. So we've had to strip it right back and go from dot. So what we've done is, do you want to talk a little bit about how we've set the team up, the formation that we've had to go with just to try and fit some players in, mate?
Yeah. Well, we were going to try and do a Mike Bassett 4-4-2, weren't we? And we were struggling a little bit. So we've gone for a 4-3-1-2 just so we can squeeze one of the players in, really, because he deserves to be in it. But I tell you what we did do, Jim. We had makings of a fantastic Blades team, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We did. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. So,
but it has been a struggle. I mean, because we all came with a lot of different ideas and a lot of different, and most of the people on there were worthy of it. It was just trying to whittle down to what we actually wanted in the team, wasn't it? Really. And if people don't like it, it's Jord Motson's fault.
Yeah, it's Jord. Jord had the final say. We'll just say that. If it goes down well, then I had the final say.
Yeah. Well, no, it was.
Okay, it was. Okay, mate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask everybody to put their goalkeeper in the chat. And while they're scrambling to do that, because we're not going to build it up for too long, but what were some of the near misses that came that didn't quite make the number 1 spot for us?
Well, we had Kasper Schmeichel, didn't we? Who did a lot in the league before he became big, And then who was the other one? There was the guy we've got. I'm trying to think. Oh, Mr. Kenny mentioned, didn't he?
Paddy Kenny, always an EFL legend, undoubtedly. But I think there will be other clubs that can lay claim to long-serving goalkeepers at the level and things like that. Like who's the
Lee Camp? He played for a lot of clubs, a lot of games.
Great shout. Matt Murray's another one. Who I think of as an EFL stalwart. So there's a few. I mean, some might say no, they won't.
Kieran Westwood.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to say it, but it doesn't sit well, does it?
He was a good keeper.
As much as we don't lean towards the red half, we certainly don't swing that way towards the blue half. So none of them have made it. You'll be surprised to hear. So let me see if anybody has dropped a goalkeeper in. Kasper Schmeichel for me, says Lewis. There is some comments. We'll get to those actually now before we get started. Evening, guys. Decided to take 10 minutes to build an EFL 11, turned into 25. Very difficult indeed. I even struggled to get Tom Kearney and Ricky Lambert in. Assume it's 2004 onwards. It's sort of the formation of the Premier League, really. We've gone a little bit further back, Lewis, in terms of when it became 1, 2, and 3 rather than Championship, League 1, League 2. So we've gone more for the formation.
The oldest, 1999, I think.
Is it?
The furthest backward goes about 99.
Okay. I've built an 11 based on a range of factors, including EFL appearances, performances, promotions, onward career, goals, etc. Super difficult to narrow it down. Billy Sharp is an automatic choice up top. Is he? The ultimate EFL striker. No one compares this century. Won't let me post the lineup. YouTube deletes it. Thinks I'm spamming. Baldock, Maguire, and Norwood are all in it. Tarapt was a must. Nige says quality that, bravo. What an intro. It was bald. Sorry, bald and brilliant. I love the tune. Bald is brilliant. Fantastic.
Love that, Brett.
And Ray loves it as well. Bald and brilliant. There you go, Lee. That's what you are now, mate. You're known as bald and brilliant. Okay, so thanks for nobody other than Lewis. Oh, hey, up. Mr. V. We're not going that far back. Ray Clements goes, Mr. V. This is the EFL. I mean, if we do, this is where it becomes a bit of a grey area, isn't it? Because Man Mountain, with Peter Shilton shout, because in the record books, it's classed as league, the league, if you like, but that were Division 1 to 4, which is why we've had to cut it off somewhere. Ben's gone with Simon Tracy. Bryce says James Trafford. That's very recent. Louis says Premier League inception that changes everything. Steve Bull and Billy Sharp up front. Okay.
Well, Steve Bull did get a lot of shouts them too.
Yeah, Man Mountain were keen. Recency bias as well with the recent Club Legends that we did, and not a bad shout at all. But we'll get there. Obviously, top up pictures are the stars of the show, and they're quite easy to do. I think not easy, but the names pop into your head a lot clearer than the right backs and the left backs and things like that at this level. So,
How many did we have? We had about 20, didn't we?
We had about 20 strikers. Yeah, and we'll get to some names that didn't get in, and they will surprise some people, I think, because you can toss a coin, can't you, for some of these picks? Yeah. It's only a bit of fun anyway. But who have we ended up going for, Lee, which I think sets the tone as to what this whole thing's about, really?
Well, to give people a clue, he only played 115 games in the Football League, but he scored 1 goal, and that 1 goal kept Carlisle up, and it was against Plymouth in 1999, and it relegated Scarborough.
Absolutely.
Jimmy Glass.
Jimmy Glass is our goalkeeping EFL legend. And I don't think Jamie Dumpling was born when that goal was scored, but it's something that I remember really clearly, and is an iconic moment in the EFL. So I've gone with Jimmy. We've gone with Jimmy Glass. I think it's a great shout, absolutely great shout, and that sets the tone really, because it's not the best player, clearly. Obviously, Kasper Schmeichel's a much better goalkeeper, and Matt Murray's a better goalkeeper. Lee Camps is better. But that is what we're looking for. Icons of the EFL, heroes of the EFL. Bryce says he was looking at Peter Shilton, goalkeeper Schmeichel, Paddy Kenny, or Richard Wright, maybe. He had a great time at Ipswich.
Yeah,
that's a good shout, Lewis.
Yeah.
Good shout. Jordan Banks says, Nigel, I don't know if that's the grandson of a great goalkeeper. Ray says, Victor, can't remember his second name, him at Stoke, Victor Johansson. I think it's one of those, because I think we've fallen into this trap, Lee, in all honesty, knowing our team. I don't think we've considered anybody that's currently playing, have we?
No, I think.
As in,
we have. Yes, we have.
Okay. Oh, yes, we have. Yes, we have. But in terms of, they're certainly not at the peak when we are sort of categorizing them. So I think recency bias has probably swung the other way with us here, and we have in 10 years' time, if you asked us, somebody like Victor Johansson would probably definitely be in the running, because he's a very good. Sorry, Gordon Backs. Nigel, I knew what you meant, mate. Don't worry about that. John says Dean and Agana up top. We're going a little bit further, too far back there for me, John. Jimmy Glass, says Lewis. Yeah, absolutely right. He'll remember that. Graham Duke wants Jags in the team. Right. Well, we best get on to defence then. So get it in.
Can I just tell you, Jim? Jimmy Glass.
Go for it.
He was ranked seventh in the Times 50 most important goals of all time.
Right.
72nd greatest sporting moment ever by Channel 4.
Wow.
And he holds the record, it's unwanted, as scoring the last own goal at the old Wembley during the 1998 Football League Trophy final for Bournemouth, and they lost 2-1.
Bald and brilliant, mate. Bald and brilliant. So this is another, just to add it to the reasons why you're here. That's spectacular knowledge. So yeah, good fact finding that from you, Lee. Spot on. So get your right backs in the comments now. Lee, can you remember? I'm sorry, because I don't think I warned you about this bit. I didn't even know I was going to do it. Can you remember who didn't make our right back list?
George Baldock.
George Baldock. Now, this was a really tough one, because there's not a right back that immediately jumps out as an EFL legend. It's hard to quantify, really. And we are very vulnerable about the whole George Baldock situation at the moment, very sentimental about George Baldock. Blades will tell you how good. There's a real strong argument. I know Kyle Walker's worn the shirt for us. I know Vasper Bokis gets a lot of love, and there'll be players going back years that I haven't seen. But there's a lot of modern day Blades that think George Baldock's in the conversation for our greatest ever right back, certainly in the modern era, and that should immediately put him in the conversation for an EFL legend, because he played most of his career in the EFL. We have stayed away from picking George Baldock because we didn't want it to be a sentiment pick. It's sort of one that we've just, again, it's probably, we probably are wearing red and white glasses again, but George Baldock isn't in this conversation because I think I didn't want it to be sort of believed it was for the wrong reasons that it was going in. But it's been a difficult choice, this. Who else didn't make the cut, Lee? Go on.
Kieran Trippier were one. We had Kieran Trippier from when he was at Burnley as a young lad.
Barnsley as well. Did he play for Barnsley?
Barnsley, yeah. And we didn't really get much further, did we?
No.
We struggled with the fullbacks.
I'll tell you what, Lewis is straight in here with some of them. Kieran Trippier. Kevin Phillips has to be a shout up top, to be fair. Don't be skipping the pages, Lewis. We're Trippier for me, says Nige. Only one that comes to mind. Yeah, it's not an easy one. Mr. V says, I'm jumping the gun, but I'm doing a mountain and throwing my toys out of Alan Shearer. And if Alan Shearer and Michael Owen aren't in the team, they're not EFL players, Mr. V. We're talking about players in the EFL, not the Premier League, so the non-Premier League stars, if you like. So apologies if we haven't made that clear. But Kieran Trippier is getting a lot of love, and understandably so. I think you suggested Kieran Trippier, didn't you, Lee, for our combined?
I did, yeah. But probably for the wrong reasons, because I suggested him because he was a very good player.
He's gone on to be
I mean, I also said Kyle Walker, but he only played about 30 games, I think, didn't he, altogether in the EFL?
Yeah.
So you can't really do it. So shall I tell him who it is?
Go for it, mate.
So the right back that we pulled and went for is Graham Alexander of Burnley, Preston and Luton. And Scunthorpe at the beginning.
Scunny, yeah, as well.
833 EFL games, 107 goals from right back. Admittedly,
Centre midfield towards the end, to be fair.
And he took a lot of penalties.
Took a lot of pens.
But he started as a right midfielder as well at Scunthorpe. But he played 159 for Scunthorpe, 150 for Luton, 154 for Burnley, 370 for Preston.
Very good player. Always really steady, neat and tidy. And again, we're not measuring it on the ability of the player, but I always thought he were a really good player at the level. Captain, most clubs he went to. He's now, I think he's manager of Bradford. I think he's an EFL legend. I think it's a fair shout to put him in there. Ray says, dare I say Bogle? No, you daren't, Ray. Hopefully not. No. Reece James says, Bri. Reece James had a very brief spell, but was incredible. And he doesn't have
centre midfield.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be long because he ended up being a right back at Chelsea. But for Wigan, they put him in centre midfield because he was the best player by a stretch. Yeah, it were incredible. And Bry's not miles away here because it's not necessarily longevity. It can also be memorable stints in the EFL as well. So that's a fair shout, Bry. But he didn't play right back, I don't think. Certainly not often. Pens don't count, remember, Jimmy? Yeah, I know. If you're Andy the Blade, pens don't count towards a goal tally. Unsworth says, John, that would be a left back shout rather than right back. And did he play a lot in the EFL? A lot. I would have said he was more a Premier League player for Everton.
Yeah.
Joe Shaw for right back. He's not an EFL player. That's way too far back, Ben. And he was a centre half, says Ray. So that's it. Graham Alexander. Yes, Graham Alexander is who we've gone for, Lewis. So
the thing about him as well, Jim, is he played for both Preston and Burnley, and he's respected by both clubs, which takes some doing. And he got 40 Scotland caps as well, so he's a good player. He was a very good player.
Yeah, he was. Okay, mate. Moving on to centre half. So there's so many names that we could have gone to. I mean, the immediate one that a lot of us wanted to do was Phil Jagielka. I think we can also make a very strong and rational argument for Chris Morgan. Neither of them have made it. There's arguments for Rob Page, not even for his time at Sheffield United, really, at Watford as well. There's other players throughout. Well, give us a few more names. Richard Stearman's one that we didn't spend enough time thinking about.
Yeah. Sol Bamba. Harry Maguire. Connor Cody.
Yeah. Lescott's a great shout by Nige.
Lescott, yeah.
It's a great shout. I could still be swayed on some of these, I could still be swayed.
It's too late. You've done graphic.
Oh, actually, do you know what I haven't been doing? I haven't been doing this. Look, it's Jimmy Glass. And look, it's Graham Alexander. There you go. We'll do that next time it's revealed. That's me on the ball as usual. So, so come on, Ellie. Who else missed out? Can you remember any more that might have missed out? So we're getting
Centre
double
backs,
bubble here.
there were a lot, weren't there? There were a lot. I can't remember. I'd have to skip through all the, I don't know, 300 messages we sent each other
Yeah,
looking for players.
Let's name the first one then. Who gets into the team for EFL
At
Legends?
centre back, the first one is Richard Keogh.
Richard Keogh. Why have we gone for Richard Keogh, mate?
751 games in the EFL, 26 goals, 1 assist. He had 12 clubs in the EFL, 13 in total. He had one in Iceland, Viking Reykjavik. Mainly known for his time at Derby, Coventry, and Carlisle. Also played for Bristol City, Blackpool, Huddersfield, Ipswich, others. 26 Republic of Ireland caps. Just solid at every club he played for.
Agree.
Absolutely solid centre half.
Agree. And stuck around. His career was in the EFL, essentially, weren't it? And he started at most clubs he played at. He was captain at a lot of those clubs as well.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's a no-brainer that you think of Richard Keogh, you think EFL football. I certainly do anyway. So I think it's a worthy shout. Who's next on the list, mate, for his partner in centre defence?
It's Wes Morgan.
It's Wes Morgan. Wes Morgan of Nottingham Forest and latterly Leicester fame. Why have we gone for Wes Morgan, pal?
Well, I'll give some stats for him. 721 career starts, 551 outside the Premier League. So he's mainly an EFL player. He's got 28 goals in his career. He played 398 times for Forest, 323 times for Leicester. Got 30 Jamaica caps. He moved to Leicester for £1 million. That's all they pay. I mean, the money that they've saved there is fantastic. He was voted into the EFL Team of the Decade in 2015. So that, straight away is up in a rarefied air. He also won the Premier League, and he was the first Jamaican to win it.
Nice.
And the bloke is an absolute colossal, fantastic defender.
Yeah, he's a great player, even though he played for Forest, who we're not big fans of. Jack O'Connell says, John, that's certainly it's been difficult not to consider Blades. I don't think we've either been too harsh on Blades because we're overcompensating, or we've just left them out for wrong reasons. But there is certainly a shout for Jack O'Connell. But I would say because he's of his quality rather than him being an EFL legend. I would say with Jack O'Connell, and it's the same with players like Paul Merson. LA Blade says I struggled with Paul Merson because it was one season for Portsmouth, and did he play for Middlesbrough in the Championship at one stage as well? Yeah. He was brilliant in the Championship, but I maybe was skewed by our own restrictions here and thinking, no, we're not going for the best players. We're going for but you could go for a Paul Merson and say absolutely, because it's certainly a memorable stint in the EFL. So that nobody's wrong, really. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Ray says, can I say Eddie Colloon? You can say Eddie Colloon, but it's way too far back. Still sung about at the Lane today. Yes, he is. Steve Walsh at Leicester is worth a mention. Yes, Lewis. Those are the type of shouts we're talking about. Egan Riley says, John, good player. I'm not sure he's an EFL legend, but again, that might be because he's still playing. I can't give him the flowers that he may well deserve in time to come. Lee's got some great knowledge. He certainly has, Ray. He certainly has. Ben saying Kyle Walker hasn't. He's bald and brilliant, Ray. That's what I'll say. Kyle Walker hasn't got the longevity for me to be an EFL legend. He's a legend that came out of the EFL. I would say he's more of a Premier League legend than he is an EFL legend, if that makes sense, Ben. So that's.
Wes Morgan, Jim.
Yeah,
he was actually playing when Forest signed. He was actually playing for a team called Dunkirk in Nottingham. When he's only a young lad playing in East Midlands counties, I think. And you know what the transfer fee was to Nottingham Forest?
Bag of balls or something.
2 signed shirts.
Really?
Yeah, his transfer fee was 2 signed shirts for the club.
Nice. That's knowledge, you see. You don't get this elsewhere. You don't get this elsewhere. So right. On to left back. Oh, John's gone for Ben Mee. I deliberately avoided Ben Mee again because he's now playing for Sheffield United. Had he not signed for United in the summer, he may have got in this team for me. So, it's difficult. Darren Pearce is another good shout. How far back are we allowed to go, lads, says Bri. we're going really from the formation of the Premier League, we said, didn't we, Lee? That sort of era.
Yeah, it was from 93, 94,
93 or 94, yeah. And we didn't even go that far, did we? We didn't go that far, I don't think.
No.
We've got to be inclusive for people like Jamie Dumpling who haven't got a clue who Alan Shearer is. So, right, on to left back then. Get your comments in for who you think your left back would be. This were another tough one. Well, it were a tough one, but I think we've got a deserved winner, if I'm honest. Do you remember anybody that came close, Lee?
Yeah, we had Leif Davis.
Yeah, it was a current player.
Sessegnon.
You liked Ryan Sessegnon, didn't you, as a shout?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any. We didn't really go through. There weren't that many left backs that stood out, were there?
In all honesty, fullbacks were the last ones to get named, weren't they? Because they're not,
Yeah, they were,
they're not the ones that jump out, to be fair. So, Sessegnon were a decent shout. I like Leif Davis as a current player, but who did we end up going for, mate?
We went for Dean Lewington.
We certainly did. We
He
certainly
was
did.
a big Stephen Quinn.
Yes. As soon as you'd said it, I was like, I can't unsee it now. I can't unsee it.
Yeah.
They are twins. So, well, little and large, wasn't it? But and he'd have been in with a shout, by the way, Stephen Quinn for an EFL.
Yeah, he's had a good career, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Dean Lewington, mate.
949 games in the Football League. 949 games, 25 goals, 830 of the games have been in the Football League for Wimbledon and MK Dons. He's got 917 games for MK Dons alone, and he's holds the record for the most games for one club in the EFL.
That is incredible, incredible. And I think is he the appearance holder in the EFL?
That's it. He's the one.
Like,
I don't know for all, but he is for one club.
Certainly for one club, yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at some of the suggestions that are coming in. Lewis says Ian Hart, maybe. Yes, we did think about Ian Hart. He did get a shout, I think, at one stage.
That were mainly Reading, though, weren't it?
Yeah, and then when he went to Leeds, it were more Premier League years, I think.
Yeah.
Leighton Baines, similar, did well at Wigan. Did really well at Wigan, but he made his name more at Everton. Lewis says Lewington is the one guy's well done, stalwart EFL player. Ben says Phil Jagielka for the back line. Yeah, it certainly would have been in consideration, Ben. And Bright agrees with Nige and will say Leighton Baines. Now, we have got 3 centre midfielders to come onto here. So there's no, spoiler alert, there's no wingers in this team. 3 centre midfielders. Get your centre midfielders in now. Lee, can you think of any that we missed off the list? There were several of these, I think. It's just
there were loads. Talking about Dean Lewington, by the way, I saw his dad play at United when his dad were here for a season.
Raymondo?
Yep.
When did Ray Lewington play for Sheffield United?
85, 86.
All right, I were 2.
Yeah, I were 3. So, players that missed out, midfield, Michael Brown. Kumas. Jason Kumas.
I think we've done Brownie a disservice there, you know. Straight away.
That were Man Mountain shout. I think, you know, it's a great shout.
It is a great shout, but I could change it.
Yeah, Jason Kumas was another one. I put Bellingham down, didn't I? But that was just as a off the cuff.
But that's not. It's for a different reason. That's a memorable EFL stint, if you like.
Snodgrass, is he more of a winger?
Yeah, he's a winger, but he's a midfielder that'll cause Sheffield United problems anyway.
Yeah, there were loads, weren't there? I mean,
yeah, there were.
You name it. You know.
Let's have a look at this. Pains me to say it, says Ian, but Barry Bannon has got to have a midfield role.
He did get mentioned.
He did get mentioned, and I think was it George that mentioned him, or did you mention him and George shot it down?
No, George were talking about something, and I said you'll be on about Barry Banana next. And
you were like, "Oh yeah,
it was definitely not."
I'll never suggest that bagel head. I think he said was.
I think that's exactly what he said.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he said. His dad Ray played for us, Jim. Yes, absolutely, Brian. Lee's just educated me on that. Paul Merson says Mr. V. It's a great shout, but Paul Merson, spoiler, doesn't get in our team. Lewis has gone for some great shouts here. Stuart McCall, Richard Sneaks. Oh, Richard Sneaks.
What a player.
And Neil Redfern. Neil Redfern's a brilliant shout.
How much money is that midfield worth today? That is some midfield. That is.
What about Graham Kavanagh?
Oh yeah, forgot
We,
about him.
we haven't got Graham Kavanagh in. Oh my word. Kevin Ball.
Tell you what, we've got a good squad though.
Great play. We have so many players to come off bench. Honestly, there are some brilliant shouts there. Thank you to everybody getting involved. So, right, okay. First one we've gone for then, Lee.
Well, we'll get the one out of the way that probably everybody might think we'll have, and that's Ollie Norwood.
Look at this for a picture, by the way.
Oh, what a picture!
Ollie Norwood, like, it's one of the Blades players that we can't not pick him. He didn't just get promoted with Sheffield United. Who else did he get promoted with? Huddersfield, Brighton, and Fulham, were it?
Fulham. Yeah, 4 times to the Premier League though. I don't think he didn't get promoted with Huddersfield to the Prem.
Or did he not?
Us twice.
Twice.
Brighton and Fulham.
Okay.
But he only played for us in the Prem, didn't he? Because they both got rid of him.
Yeah, they did. They sacked him off back to the EFL when they got that promotion with him in the side. So yeah, talk to us about Ollie Norwood then, Lee. Why is he getting in?
A great servant to all clubs he's played for. 652 games, 44 goals, 555 games outside the Premier League. He started at Man United. He played for 9 other clubs, including Sheffield United, 252 games, Reading, Huddersfield, 57 Northern Ireland caps, promoted to the Prem 4 times with 3 different clubs, PFA Team of the Year 2018-19.
Are we the club he played the most games for?
We are.
Yeah.
In that order, Sheffield United 252, Reading 92, Huddersfield 90,
right.
and then it goes on with quite a few other clubs, Fulham and Brighton.
Very good. What a player Ollie Norwood was. And I don't think that it's, forgive us if there is some Sheffield United bias in here, but if you have seen Ollie Norwood up close, he's one of those players that you have to watch to really appreciate. And yeah, in his latter years, we could say this about a few Sheffield United players, Ender Stevens, John Fleck, maybe stayed a year too long and risked tarnishing their reputation. Thankfully, I think now we've moved on to the point where we can look back favourably and fondly about everything they gave to us because it was a wonderful period for our club. But Ollie Norwood was an absolute magician with the ball at his feet. Yep. He went through like a 2 or 3 year period where everything we did went through Ollie Norwood, and he was absolutely top class. Absolutely, the touch of class. And yeah, he made mistakes that were easy to pick out from the naked eye, but then there'd be some cute little things that he'd do. He'd play a ball around the corner to someone, and you think we just expect that from him. And I don't a crossfield ball that just lands at someone's feet, and you think that's special. He was some player, absolutely brilliant talent. So he's
given space and time, Jim. He used to kill teams. Any time they gave him. I mean, he did in his later years. He lacked a little bit of physicality. We'll say, getting around the park a bit. But his feet still worked well, didn't they? He's still fantastic with the ball at his feet.
He was for a period of time, an 18-month period. I would say, a championship cheat code. He leveled us up, I think, as a player. Who joins him in centre midfield? You can go for whichever of the two you prefer.
We're going for Peter Whittingham.
Peter Whittingham. Now we've already dismissed, including George Baldock, for fear of it just being focused on as a posthumous selection. Peter Whittingham sadly passed away, and but does leave a legacy in the EFL. And I think he's been voted Cardiff's best ever player or something like that, hasn't he? So why does Peter Whittingham get into the EFL Legends side, Lee?
It's 567 games, 82 goals, 479 outside the Prem. Played for Villa, played for Burnley, played for Derby, Cardiff, Blackburn. Won the FA Youth Cup in 2002 for Villa. Transferred to Cardiff in 2007, where he played most of his career.
Yeah.
It was just class. It was just absolutely class. Whether it was wide left in a more traditional left midfield role, centrally, it was Norwood with legs, basically.
Yeah, that's
fantastic player.
That's that way, it was a wand of a left foot, to use a few more cliches. It was really, really strong. Let's have a look at what some people are saying then before we move on to our final centre midfielder. Gary Speed, says John. Gary Speed, a brilliant player, did a fantastic job at Sheffield United when he came later in his career. Again, John, I think he's more in contention for a Premier League legend than an EFL legend. Brand says Stephen Quinn. Bakary Sako was good at Wolves as a wide midfielder. Don't know the name, I'm afraid. Also a controversial one, but Dean Hammond was always incredible for Southampton in the Championship, says Bran. That is very controversial. And you can tell that it's a neutral channel that he's saying this on rather than the Blades Ramble. But yeah, Stephen Quinn, certainly worth a mention. Dean Hammond, I can't see past. I can't take my Blades glasses off for that. Nige goes for Peter Whittingham. Yeah, great shout. Lewis says, I had Ollie Norwood in my 11 boys. Bonafide EFL legend, appearances, promotions, international caps, the ping, great career, sometimes underrated. I'd say often overrated. Yeah, I think that's fair. Bryce says there's a hairy caterpillar on his lip there, Jim. Yeah, it's not the best picture of Ollie Norwood, but I thought it was amusing. Lewis pops in with a Harry Arter shout. Robert Fleck, another good shout. I could argue for John Fleck as well, to be honest. But that is Sheffield United bias coming out. Who completes our midfield trio, Lee? And this is the furthest one.
This one was yours, Jim. This is yours. This is Tim Cahill.
Tim Cahill. Now, forgive me because I am slightly biased to this one as well. For those that don't know the tale, Tim Cahill was plucked out of Millwall by my dad. He took him to Everton and convinced Moisey to have a go at take a chance on him. There were 4 players at the time. There was, and if I can remember rightly, when Neil Harris, this Millwall 4 that my dad had gone to watch it, when Neil Harris, Stephen Reed, Lucas Neal, and Tim Cahill, and my dad were like, all 4 could do a job to some degree because they're all good at that level. But Tim Cahill stands out, head and shoulders. You need to go for him. I think it was $2.5 million. They ended up paying. Obviously, we're not talking about what he did in the Premier League, but for that short period at Millwall, he was unstoppable. It was the closest thing I can compare him to is like a Championship version of Frank Lampard at that time. Yeah. I think they're very similar type of players. Obviously, Lampard's a better player and played at a higher level, but Cahill went on to become a very good player in his own right. I think he was probably better aerially than Lampard. There'll be other areas that Lampard certainly was better than him, but that's the type of player that he was. Really aggressive. He would be a brilliant number 10 in today's game. I think he was just a real menace and strong for his smaller stature. I loved Tim Cahill as a player. I thought he was a brilliant player, and for those first couple of seasons, he was still quite raw. But I still think back fondly. And it may be another skewed looking back of Tim Cahill, but I think he's an EFL legend. And to be fair, Lewis says, oof, Tim Cahill, you win EFL bingo, class player. And that's a great midfield, says Nige. Would Dane Whitehouse be one? Dane Whitehouse. Is he a Sheffield United legend more than he's an EFL legend? Was that longevity robbed of him?
A good player. He's a Sheffield United legend, isn't he?
He's a Sheffield United legend, but is that what we're thinking about rather than an EFL legend? Because it were robbed from him, weren't it? To have that longevity. Anyway, we won't go down that route because he's definitely nowhere near team, obviously. JJ Kocher, so good they named him twice.
Premier League.
Yeah, it's more Prem, isn't it? It's more Prem. Yeah. I don't even know if he played. He might have played 1 or 2 in the Champ, but I can't remember him doing that. Here we go, Mr. V. Glenn Murray, Billy Sharp, Dwight Gale, and Ivan Toney have to be up there. They were all considered. Considered, Mr. V. So 1 or 2 of them may be in, but we'll come to that. Guy Whittingham up top did great with Paul Walsh. That's not a bad shout either. It's a little bit further back from me. Per Franson at Bolton, says Lewis. But we move from that midfield 3 into the number 10.
Can I get some Tim Cahill stats, Jim?
Oh, go for it. Sorry, mate. Yeah, go for it, of course. Go for it. Yeah, of course I do.
It's all right. 689 career games, 170 goals, 51 assists. In the EFL, 249 games, 56 goals, 4 assists from midfield. 1 every 5.
Didn't like passing, did he?
In the Prem, it's even better. 278, games, 68 goals, 23 assists.
He don't get talked about enough, I don't think.
108 games for Australia, 50 goals. He was in the top 50 for the Ballon d'Or in 2006. The first Aussie to score at the World Cup. Could have played for England, Ireland, Australia, or Samoa. Got 2 caps for Western Samoa and changed his allegiance when the rules changed in 2003, and was offered to play for Republic of Ireland in 2002 but couldn't.
Incredible, mate. Bald and brilliant. Bald and brilliant. That is top class, mate. Top class. Love that. Oh, right. So Lewis has gone early with his number 10, Adel Tarabt. I'm not having anyone else. Maybe McGoldrick. Right. So who misses out on the number 10 spot, Lee? Paul Merson's one that's already been mentioned that I think is a brilliant shout, by the way.
Yeah, we had Hernandez and all, didn't we? We were at Leeds.
Pablo
Who played as
Hernandez.
a winger, but cut in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who some of the others were, Jim. There's Emi Buendia.
Emi
We have him
Buendia,
as well.
Got to mention. Yeah. Yeah. So after all that, mate.
I can't think of any more that I've seen anyway. I think we were quite happy with this. I think everybody were on board with this one, weren't they?
Yep. Lewis has mentioned him already, hasn't he?
Adel Tarabt.
Adel Tarabt. The iconic name of the EFL, probably in some circles. When you think of EFL, the streets will never forget, as the kids say. Adel Tarabt always comes up as the iconic player that people, certainly of my age, go back and remember. So talk to us about Adel Tarabt, mate.
Well, surprisingly, he didn't actually play that many games in the Championship, but it's the mark he left in it for how he played, wasn't it? You know, he was just such a good player, untouchable at times. You know the way he played. 484 career games, 75 goals, 86 assists. But in the Championship, only 92 games, 27 goals, but 32 assists. You know, so
that's
59 goal
involvements
in 92 games. That's incredible. You know, he went on to play for for Fulham, Spurs, also AC Milan, Benfica. You know, he's been all over.
So he's involved in a goal for QPR in 2 out of every 3 games.
Correct.
Absolutely unbelievable, and that is why people just were in awe of him at the time. I think he was a maverick, certainly. I think it's fair to say, and it's something that is probably obvious now on reflection, that we've changed our formation from the traditional 4-4-2 that we thought we'd end up with to fit Adel Tarabt in the team, because we could have had Peter Whittingham on the left and brought a right winger in, but Adel Tarabt needed to be in this team. And yeah, it's certainly a worthy shout. So what are the people saying? Bryce saying Steve Claridge up top. That's a great shout, by the way. That's a brilliant shout. Paul Pesky-Salido. Yeah, another one. I'm sorry, but O'Hare should be the 10. I'm a little biased, though, says Mr. V. James Maddison is another good shout. Tarabt could do ungodly things with a football. Ridiculous talent, says Lewis. It was one of those, weren't he, that a little bit like the Ravel Morrison category and players of that ilk, where had they been more disciplined, at least Mousset, you could even say to a degree, had they been more disciplined with themselves and focused on the game, they could have gone to much higher heights than they went to. His time at Norwich, meaning James Maddison. Yeah, go on, mate. Go for it.
I was just saying about Tarabt. You looked at him, you know, he was a big lad, you know, and you didn't think he was very quick, but he'd get away from you. You know, he was strong. He could hold you off. And when he'd done all that, he had the talent to beat you with his feet. The word maverick, it absolutely fits him perfectly. He's a football maverick, wasn't he?
He was
a fantastic player.
Famously, I mean, a lot of people will know this tale anyway, but Neil Warnock tells a story regularly that he used to say, do not come back over the halfway line. Just stay in the opposition half. And the instruction to the QPR team was, give it to him. Give it to him in their half, and he'd go past 1 or 2 or 3 players sometimes and stick it in the net, and you just think, wow, incredible. Nige says I'd have to wrap to 2. Lewis, what a player. Wes Hoolahan is a shout though. Yes, he is considered.
He got called.
Considered Wes Hoolahan. Are you using Chat GPT, Lewis? Coming out with some rate shouts, says Nige. Right, so on to the top 2, which again, it's a toss of a coin. There's so many iconic strikers in the EFL. We've already had some mentioned. Steve Claridge did not make it. Paul Pesky-Salido did not make it. Kev Phillips were mentioned further up, did not make it. Super Kev Phillips, I wanted him in. He were in my original draft, was Super Kevin Phillips. Any other names?
Akin Fenwa,
Fenwa.
wasn't it?
In the thought process of what this is all about, he is an iconic EFL player. He's somebody that will be remembered in the next 10 years as somebody who played in the EFL. So
We had Steve Bull, Pookie.
Steve Bull. Timu Pookie, I think Jord were quite keen on at one stage. He had a brilliant spell at Norwich. So who did we end up going for, Lee?
We went for Jamie Curtin as one of them.
We certainly did. Jamie Curtin. And he dominates the stats, I think, as an EFL legend. What are we talking for his numbers, Lee?
770 games in the Football League, 270 goals, 42 assists.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
He also played in every division from the National League to the Premier League.
Yeah. He has lived the dream, hasn't he? He has lived the dream.
Yeah.
Another one that was shouted a couple of times were Vardy. And it's not an anti-Wednesday thing that we're not including him. It's because, again, I think he's more remembered for his Premier League spell, although he's known in the Premier League for a man who came up through the leagues. So you could argue it either way. So Jamie Curtin gets in. Brand says Jack Lester, Billy Sharp, Benica Phoebe. All right. Just plays from my era, Nige, says Lewis. Some rate shouts, pal, says Nige. So he's got. Oh, hang on. There's some more shouts from Lewis here before we get on to the naming the final man in our lineup. Excuse me. Strikers Kevin Francis, yes, as a 6'7" or something for Birmingham.
Yeah, massive, wasn't he?
Yeah, huge. Ian Ormondroyd Sticks, he's a mate of my dad's. Bradford City, yeah, brilliant. Dougie Friedman, really good player. Andy Johnson's a brilliant shout. What's Johnson.
Louis done there? Has he gone for tall lads and small lads? Has he gone for like the big man, small man pairing? Weren't Kevin Francis a postman? He was non-league playing
something
a postman,
like that.
He?
Yeah, there was something like that. Yeah. View from the Mountain says Lee's intro is electric. Steve Bull was a must for me. Yeah, he's bald and brilliant, isn't he, Paul? So come on then, Lee. Who has got the nod as the main striker in our side?
Unanimously into the team is Billy Sharp.
It sure is Billy Sharp. It sure is. And I know we're Blades, but this one we don't apologise for, do we, mate? We can't.
Not at all.
He has got to get in. I think he gets in any neutral fans team, and he should. Talk to us about why Billy Sharp's in the team, mate.
I'll go through his stats. 782 professional games, 287 goals, 83 assists. Premier League, 43 games, 6 goals, 2 assists. Championship, 410 games, 130 goals, 26 assists. League One, 185 games, 106 goals, 20 assists. League Two, 59 games, 18 goals, 2 assists when he was young.
Yeah.
377 games for us, 129 goals. 167 games for Donny, 59 goals. 94 for Scunthorpe, 56 goals in 94 games as a kid.
He were incredible. Him and Andy Keogh, who were brilliant. They were
brilliant, yeah. Terrible haircuts, but brilliant players.
Yeah, awful haircuts, but brilliant.
He's won League One. He's won League Two. Been promoted to the Prem 3 times. PFA Team of the Year 4 times. PFA Player of the Year League One. Football League Player of the Year League One twice. EFL Team of the Season twice. Leading goal scorer in the EFL this century. Holds the record. Played in every division. That's a legend.
That is a Sheffield United legend, and that is certainly an EFL legend. Yeah, so I think, look, again, maybe biased, but have you got a captain for our team, mate?
We'd go Wes Morgan.
Would you?
Winner of the Premier League.
Yeah, but look at this man. Look at him.
I'd go Wes Morgan. I like centre halves
yeah, fair.
I like centre halves.
So just as a recap, then, this is our team, themed with the Ramble FC colours, which makes it a little bit woo. But Jimmy Glass in goal. Got Graham Alexander as right back. A centre back pairing of Wes Morgan and Richard Keogh. Dean Lewington at left back. A central three of Ollie Norwood, Tim Cahill, and Peter Whittingham. A delta wrapped in the 10 with Jamie Curtin and Billy Sharp. up front. If they're not heroes of the EFL, I don't know who are. So just a bit of fun. As we said, you'll all have different opinions on who you would select. Let's have a look at what people are saying. Paul Butler. Well, he leads Paul Butler. Billy Sharp is the greatest EFL striker of all time. Fact, blade or not, says Lewis. 100% correct decision on Billy Sharp, says Mr. V. Even where I live, people speak of him as a football legend. It has to be the skipper, says Bry. I agree. I don't know what Lee's talking about. He's still bold and brilliant. Controversial Jordan Rhodes, his time at Blackburn. Pains to say it, to be honest. Nige, it got mentioned. He was in consideration as well. I feel sick now, he says. It had to be Billy. Yes, it did. David Johnson at Ipswich or Forest. Yes. Yeah. Marlon Harewood too. Nige says Sharp, 100%. Just didn't choose him with being a legend for us. Yeah. So let us know what you think of our team. In that it was a combined effort between the four of us. So yeah, I'm pretty
goals
pleased
in
with
it, Jim.
that.
Some goals in that team.
Some goals in that team. Oh, mate, look at this team. Just get to, if Adelta Apps don't get it, yeah, and Tim Cale don't get it, yeah, get to Billy Sharp. It's ridiculous, isn't it? The options there.
We're just weak in net.
Whittingham on, yeah, it's all right. We won't get him to our half. Whittingham on set pieces as well, or Ollie Norwood from other side. I tell you what, we're laughing with that team. Absolutely laughing. Paul Butler was Grimsby. All right, I'm sure there were a Paul Butler at Leeds. I know there were an Andy Butler at Scunthorpe and later Sheffield United. Stats king, says Nige. Absolutely right. Lewis says, it's a very good team, lads, and almost impossible to pick one, all deserving on the criteria set. Thank you, Lewis. Much appreciated, pal. Now we're going to move on to our more recent sort of thing. In fact, Lee, you have been not only the stats man for today's show in terms of the EFL heroes, you are also the man collating our predictions and predictions league. So can you give us a quick rundown of what we picked last week? And it was James from Matilda Shakes that gave us a Platinum Ramblers side of things, weren't it? He put the scores forward for the Platinum Ramblers, because every week, for those that aren't aware, we all do predictions. We're in a league of 5. There's myself, Lee, Man Mountain, Jord Motson, and the Platinum Ramblers. And every week we'll get on a Platinum Rambler. In fact, let's do that right now. Every week we get on a Platinum Rambler to represent. And this week, voted by the Platinum Ramblers themselves as their main representative, it's Dave Morwood. How's it going, Davey boy?
He's bold and he's brilliant.
No.
Dave.
If you call for it, Dave, if you call for it, we can do it. Don't you worry about that.
I'm good, mate.
Bold and brilliant, that's our lead. Knows the pitch like the back of his knee. No need for hair, he's got strategy. Football genius, yeah. That's Bally.
Baldly.
That's good.
So yes, Dave, welcome to the stream, pal. What did you think to that EFL Legends team, by the way?
Oh, I thought it was rubbish. Yeah, they'd struggled a bit. I thought it was good, mate. I did. I thought it was good. I got a few of them down, like scribbling them down. I got Ricky Lambert down.
Ricky Lambert, great shout. Great shout. Not many suggested him. There were a shout for him early on in the stream, and then nobody's really mentioned him as we come to it. It's really hard to sort of, drill them down. And there's an argument for about 10 or 15 strikers, to be honest. So it would tough, but a good bit of fun to do that. So yeah, so we've got a league going now where there's 5 in the league, if you like. There's myself, Lee, Paul Man Mountain, Jord Motson, and Dave today is representing the Platinum Ramblers. And we each bring a fixture to the table to predict. How did we get on last week, Lee?
Well, so the first game was Burnley-Leeds, and it was 2-0 to Burnley. You predicted 2-1 to Leeds. Paul predicted 1-0, so he got a point. I predicted 1-1, nothing. Jordan Leeds to win 1-0, nothing. And the Ramblers, James from Matilda Shakes, 1-0 to Leeds, nothing. So only Paul scored on that one.
Okay.
The second game were Bradford Barnsley, which were 2-2. which your mate Cal were raving on about.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Especially that where that kid played that through ball and it went in net.
I know,
That
yeah.
lucky shot. Yeah.
You got
So that was
award for that.
2-2. So you got no points, Jim, 2-0. Paul got no point. In fact, nobody got any points on that game.
Wow.
Because we all had a result on it. So the next one was Salford v Oldham, 1-0 to Salford. Again, Jimmy, you got nothing for 1-1. There's a theme coming here, Jim. No, there ain't. You break it in a minute. 2-1, Paul had, he got a point. I had 1-1, I had no points. Jordan had 1-1, no points. And the Ramblers got it right. James got it right, 1-0, 3 points.
Oh, correct score. 3 points for a correct score. Okay.
So then we got, sorry, mate.
No, go on. Go for it, mate. Yeah.
So then we went on to Sunderland versus Wolves, which was 2-0 to Sunderland. Jimmy, you got a point, 1-0.
Come on. Got the
Paul
Magnums.
had 1-1, so Paul didn't get a point.
Good.
I had 2-1, so I got a point. Jordan, he got no points, 1-1, and the Ramblers got none. They had 1-1. So the last one is Coventry Blackburn, 2-0 to Coventry. Jim, you had 3-1, so you got a point.
Go on then.
Oh, sorry, it was 2-0 to Coventry Blackburn, 2-0 Coventry. You got 3-1, so you get a point. Paul had 2-1, gets a point. I had 2-0, 3 points. Thank you very much. Jordan had 3-0, 1 point. And the Ramblers had 3-0, 1 point. So the league table is the Ramblers at the top with 5.
That's
Joined
going to
by
change this week.
Paul Man Mountain, me, Jordan on 4 points in joint second, and Jim, sorry mate, strongest at lot of us, holding us up. 3 points.
Oh, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm glad we didn't actually suggest forfeits like I wanted to originally. I forgot to mention it on the first show, and then we were going to do like a forfeit every week for whoever came last. So I'm glad that's not been a thing and will not be a thing now. So okay, so
Not while you're bottom anyway.
not while I'm bottom. We might change it if Man Mountain drops to bottom. We'll have to wait and see. So moving on to this week then. Who's brought what fixtures? Who wants to go? So Lee, do you want to talk to us about Paul and George's games first?
Right, so Paul has gone for Leeds versus West Ham.
Okay. Leeds versus West Ham. And what has Paul gone for in that game?
Do you know what? I haven't put it down on there, so I've got it on here. 1 second. I've put it
got
down
it.
on my sheet.
I've got
I'll
it.
pause that.
He's gone 2-1 to West Ham.
He has to West Ham.
And George has gone 1-1. Right. I have gone 1-0 Leeds. What are you going, Lee?
I'm going 2-1 to Leeds.
Dave Morwood, huge call on behalf of the Ramblers. What are you saying, Leeds versus West Ham?
I've gone the same as Lee, 2-1 to Leeds.
2-1 to Leeds. Interesting. Lock it in, Lee. Lock it in.
Don't worry, that's in.
Nice one. So what game has Jordan brought to the table, Lee?
Sheffield Wednesday versus Oxford.
And he's gone for?
1-1.
1 apiece. Jord with the splinters. What's the Man Mountain said for Wednesday and Oxford?
It's gone for Oxford 2-1.
Good lad. Good lad. I've also gone for Oxford, but 1-0. About you, Lee?
I've gone for Oxford 3-1.
Mr. Morwood, what are you going with for Oxford travelling to Hillsborough?
I've gone for them lot 1, Oxford 1.
Oh, 1 apiece. Same as Jord. Oh, you're valuing the points over a little sharp dig at the opposition. I admire the gameplay. Okay, so that's the 2 absent lads' games out of the way. We'll go for my game next. I've gone for Bolton against Cardiff, and I've gone for 2-1 to Bolton, although Cardiff are top of the league. Paul has gone 1 apiece for this game, and Jordan has gone 2-1 Cardiff. So that's 3 different results that we've gone for there. Somebody's gonna pick up some points there. Lee, what have you gone for, mate?
I've gone for the same as Jordan, so I'm hoping he's picking up results. I've gone for 2-1 to Cardiff.
Good shout. Mr. Morwood.
Exactly the same. 2-1 Cardiff.
Oh, interesting. Lee, what was your game that you brought to the table, pal?
I've gone for Barnsley v Rotherham.
Okay. Barnsley and Rotherham then. What's your score prediction for that?
So before I give my score prediction, I just want to apologise to my friends Matt and Sean, who are Rotherham fans. I've gone for Barnsley 3-0.
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. But you're not the only one that's done that, to be fair. Jordan's gone 2-0 to Barnsley. And the Man Mountain's gone 2-0 Barnsley as well. I've gone 2-1 to Barnsley. Give Rotherham an away goal. Dave, what are you saying for the Ramblers?
I've gone Rotherham 0, the Dingles 2.
2-0 for you. So that's 3-2-0 Barnsleys we've got. Interesting. Okay. And now, Mr. Morwood, it's your game. What game have you brought on behalf of the Ramblers to the table?
Did I have to bring a game?
Yes, you did.
I've gone for Ipswich and West Brom.
Ipswich, West Brom. And what are you saying the score will be, Dave?
3-1 Ipswich.
Oh, I don't think this is easy to call. I don't think this is an easy game to
2
call.
out of 4 teams.
Yeah, that's right. West Brom have just lost as well, haven't they? Lee, what are you saying, mate?
I've gone for 2-1 Ipswich.
As has the Man Mountain. And George's gone for a 1-0. So that's 4 in favour of Ipswich already. I've gone 1 apiece for that one. So we'll wait and see.
Splinters.
Yeah, but it's also out of the I'm breaking the mould as well, if you think about it, because I'm out on my own there. So that's either going to work or blow up in my face. So yes, I'll be top of the league come this time next week, no doubt. We'll wait and see when those all come in. So yes,
Now they've took the Ramblers to the bottom.
I'm joking. There's a reason I'm bottom at league, Dave. Absolutely. So I want to say thank you, David. Anything else you want to say on behalf of the Platinum Ramblers while you're in the hot seat?
Yes, we are the champions.
Let's just get some of the last comments before we
I'm
go.
calling it now.
Oh, still some great shouts coming in. Clive Mendonca from Lewis. Love that.
Ooh.
So rate team, says Nigel. Mark says Paul Butler did play for Leeds. Thank you, Mark Meldrew. He swallowed his tongue against us when we beat them 4-0 in 2005 at Elland Road. Some of your knowledge, Mark, is superb. Your memory. Bring on Davy Morwood, my positive brother, says Lewis, up the 5p beat. Yes, you are a founding member of the Positive Blades, aren't you, Dave, as well? Who's the manager? Jimmy and Lee? Well, I did think about doing this, but there's only one man in there, I think.
I think we should actually have let the Ramblers do that, shouldn't we? We should have asked.
In fact, let's Dave can name the manager for the EFL side.
I can't think of any managers in the EFL that are good. Chrissy Wilder.
Yay!
I'll do.
I'd have gone for his nemesis personally, but one of them. Bald Lee, incredible. Go on, Lee, says Mark. Yes. Love it, Dave. Love
My
it.
manager, you know, would be a shout, and I'm not a fan, is Warnock.
That's what I'm on about. His nemesis.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I didn't
Yeah.
know. Oh, right, yeah. Fair
Yeah,
play.
they don't
Yeah,
like
but
it.
wearing my Blade shirt, I can't send you a Warnock, can I? Just...
No, you can't. No, you can't, because he's never been a Blade.
No.
Kershaw says, cracking championship this season. So open. Lots of clubs involved in the fight for a promotion. Completely agree, pal. Man Mountain says, Ronnie's gone 5-0 Oxford. Good old Ronnie. That's the boy Hill right there. Mark's going 106-1 for Oxford. 3-1 Barnsley, he says. Ipswich 1 apiece. Agrees with me. 1 apiece for the Ipswich West Brom game. And manager is for the team, Ian Dowie, bounce back ability. You got that officially registered in the Oxford English Dictionary, I believe. It's got to be Warnock, I think, says Ian. Yeah, I think it would be, wouldn't it? All things square. 2-0 Spam, beating Leeds. Oxford 1-0. Cardiff and Bolton 0-0. Dingles 4-1, and the Tractor Boys 2-2 with West Brom. Ruben Sayers, says Mark Meldrew for the gaffer, and I think we best leave it there if that's where it's descended to, lads. So yeah, David, thank you for coming on and representing the Ramblers and giving me a chance in the league with some of those predictions you've put out.
Anytime, mate.
Lee, I want to say thank you so much for joining us, and just one last time for the road. We can't go without one last one of these, can we?
Bold and brilliant, that's our lead. Knows the pitch like the back of his knee. No need for hair, he's got strategy. Football genius, yeah. That's Bally.
You know we should make a record of that, don't you? Like said Fred.
That is
Says
brilliant.
Dave.
Just so you know, I have loaded that into all different platforms, Lee, so I can get it on anywhere whenever you come on. So don't you worry about that, pal. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. You will catch us again tomorrow. We'll be on the live stream for the watch along of Sheffield United's visit to Deepdale over on the Blades Ramble. We will hopefully see you there. But for now, I can never finish this. I need to come up with a different finish. Up the Blades, Up the Blades.
Up the Blades. And the EFL legends.
And the EFL